A-D, A-D, scavenger talk, scavenger law. Oh yeah, scavenger talk. You're now tuned in to a Rock the Block show production. Scavenger talk, scavenger. Now what's the odds if you never take a risk? No chance. Now what's the odds? Welcome to we dropping picks. Scavenger talk.
Welcome back, my scavengers, to another episode of What's the Odds here, where we aim to put you in position to make money, and we give you great insight on the games and news around the league. But before we get into that, I'm your host, Scavenger AD. Alongside with me is my clever co-host, Older Scavenger. Now, Older Scavenger, how you feeling today? Everything good with you?
Everything good, man. Just trying to get to the money. You know how we do.
Oh, then let's cook up some lots, mix the ingredients together and fix them up a nice big plate today. Why not, right? But before we do, I want to give a couple, shout outs to a few of our new followers, people that have been showing us love and support. I really appreciate it. Every day we're getting a couple new followers, but there's one specific follower that followed us a few days ago at the name, let me get it right here, Sancho1017. Salute, man. Good friend. We play ball every once in a while, so it's always good to show love, And you got anybody want to show love to?
Definitely, I got a couple people I want to show some love to. Just a few minutes ago, we got a follow from Blunt83. And he just liked something on the story as well. I'm gonna go check into that. And I also want to give a shout out to my boy King West, man, all the way from Houston, Texas. We're gonna drop everybody's Instagram handles on the screen for you to go follow and tap in with them. My boy King West just came home. Salute to you.
Got you. All right, it's always good to show love. Now, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at What's the Odds Sportscast. We're also on TikTok at What's the Odds. So always tap in on us. And any new sponsors, you guys got any marketing ideas, send it to What's the Odds directly, and we're gonna respond right away.
Also, make sure you stay tapped in to our Discord. Trying to build our Discord community, you know what I mean? We're gonna post the links to that as well in the description of this video. But yeah, man, tap into the Discord community, man. We're going up. Community of sports booking enthusiasts ready to get this paper.
Sound good. Now, before we get into all the hoopla, man, it's something that we always wanted to start on the show. Just like what's the word I'm looking for? Theory, or what's the word? We want to give people like an insight of the game. It's like a rule, gambling rules.
Right.
Like different rules. And, as I was doing my, on the big games over the weekend, doing my gambles, something that hit me is a rule. It's a very simple rule, but, it gets constantly overlooked because of the hoopla and everything that's going on. So I have one rule that I want to share with everyone. Scavenger A, first rule of the day. Don't bet with your heart. Don't bet with this.
That's
so
a very important fucking rule.
Don't bet. We're gonna get to why I said that, or should I? Or you want to get to your theory first? I got a reason why I said that.
Oh, most definitely. I think we're gonna get to that very shortly. I think I know where you're going with this, but I think on my end today, I don't really have a rule. I have a rule, but I kind of want to scratch the rule for terminology. And it's a very important terminology in this gambling world that you need to adhere to. And it's called gambler's delusion. And basically the meaning of gambler's delusion is sometimes you'll get wrapped up in a hype, or you'll be on a stinker, you know what I mean, or a couple game losing streak. Yeah. You gotta take a break, reset, take a step back from the game. Get out of that delusion and come back to reality.
Got you.
Gambler's delusion. Remember
We're gonna get to our points now. But just remember, those are the rules or the theories of the day. So definitely. But let's talk about around the league now. And what's going on. Exactly. So of course, everybody know there are two amazing football games over the weekend. We call that conference championship weekend, which is the final four teams face off to see who's gonna be in the Super Bowl. The first game was the Ravens playing the Chiefs. Very entertaining game, very good game. We went to the Hard Rock to watch the game. It was a lot of energy, man.
Hey, man, I ain't even gonna lie, that was some bullshit, man. That was some pure bullshit, man.
How we go from amazing to bullshit? I'm confused.
Man, listen. Go ahead, just finish what we're going with.
Well, I was going to speak on the game and, how, you know, it was a very, very, very high-scoring game in the first quarter. Both teams came out with spectacular plays, and then it shifted. The game slowed down. I seen a lot of things happening, like Lamar Jackson just kind of like never getting settled, and Mahomes showing like, yeah, we've been through this, and we know how to navigate through this. You guys don't. That's what I saw. But how we go from amazing game to bullshit? Why you feel like that?
Two things. First of all, I want to apologize to all our supporters and viewers out there. I jumped out there Sunday, you know, we're doing this new thing on the page where we dropping videos of our picks, 2 locks of the day, you know, the scavengers that choose to participate in it for the day. And I jumped out there and I told everybody Baltimore Ravens, money line, and they just didn't come with enough, man. They didn't do enough, you know what I mean? We could factor in a couple faulty penalties out there, that black pickle-nosed ass referee that they put out there as a motherfucking decoy to fuck my boy Lamar over and all type of shit. But you know, I was standing on crib business with that. When I say crib, I'm talking about all of Florida, our next door neighbors.
He's going somewhere, guys.
And the fact that we did put the Olympic blessing on that boy earlier this year.
You already know it.
And he
already know
They came up short. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. We can get into the game though, man.
I mean, for the most part, you went somewhere, and I want to bring you back there because he said, you know, he was holding it down for the crib, you know, the Floridians, the people from Broward, the Florida Ravens supporters, you know, and it all leads to one thing, what I was saying earlier: stop betting with your heart.
Betting with your heart.
That's what I fell into, but there was a guy on the other side that had been through it, had more experience, and just showed why he's a 2-time champion, and he's going to his 5th or 6th Super Bowl in 5-6 years. That's absurd.
Right.
That's absurd. So, you know, the final score was 10-17. It was definitely a tight game after the first. You know, I had actually on my ticket, I had the game under, Ravens game under, which was definitely an under game. It was solid defense on both sides. So at the end of the day, it was just Lamar didn't have enough. They had a lot of opportunities, and I respect the defense. The defense did enough, in my opinion. I feel like they held it down. They got hit in the mouth in the first.
Right.
They sustained, you know, they got a lot of opportunities for the Ravens, but the Ravens turned the ball over in crucial moments. Like when Lamar threw that pick, when what's the receiver? Zay Flowers fumbled at the goal line. It was a lot of those, like, just slow it down. Even flags, it was just a lot of flags. But something told me
unnecessary.
Yeah, but as the game was going, and they were showing Taylor Swift so much, showing everything of going on, and I forgot the name of the ref they implemented in the game. You know, he's a very
pickle nose.
Pickle nose. We're gonna call him for this show.
Nose.
He's very known for, you know, having his road teams being very successful. I don't know, maybe just, you know, a coincidence, but at the same time, it was all meant for the Chiefs. Like, wow, the Chiefs to get back in the Super Bowl, a lot of revenue.
Let me interject real quick, and that's leads me back to what I was saying about gambler's delusion. That morning I woke up, every ounce of my heart said, man, you don't want to put this money against Mahomes. You want to ride with this Chiefs wave. You know what's at stake. Then my boy Wood, the scavenger, get on the line, and he dropped some astonishing jewels. He's like, yo, bro, listen, bro, the Taylor Swift conspiracy, man. Travis Kelce, you don't want to go against that. Bro, this shit set up for that. Man, the amount of money that she's bringing and exposure to the league. And one of the most peculiar stats that he dropped was, he was like, man, do you know that on Instagram, the NFL has about 25 million followers. Now it's probably going up since. And on Instagram, Taylor Swift has over 250 million followers. And I think the NFL released a statement saying that the amount of PR that the Kelce brothers and this whole Taylor Swift thing has brought to the NFL is like insurmountable. They can't even put a number on it, you know what I'm saying? So when you know it's a business, every ounce of me was like, yo, the business, the league would profit more off of seeing the Chiefs versus the 49ers. That was just my take on it.
And plus that's a rematch of the Super Bowl a few years ago. It just, it was a marriage waiting to happen.
Do you want to get into, you know, predictions, or you want to save that for another segment a little later? You want the Super Bowl predictions, or should we keep it going?
We gotta get to. Oh, you ready to get over this, Lamar?
Yeah, I'm ready to get over it, man. Lamar, hopefully in the future we can get Lamar on the show, man, to come sit down with us and really just chop it up about some real life stuff. But definitely I would like to talk to him about the Olympic blessing and his future, his thoughts on his future.
Yeah, Ravens had definitely a great run, but they fell short to one of the great, if not the greatest quarterback we have ever watched.
What about the Niners, and before we move on, what about the Niners and the Lions games? What's your thoughts on that?
Niners and Lions, man, that was a wild game because...
That was a super wild game.
Wow, because we already knew, again, you know what I'm saying, we liked the Lions to cover. I also liked the game to go over, so it was exactly how it played out, but...
You smacked on both of those, right?
Yeah, definitely. Check the page out, you're going to see right on the top. But for the most part, it was so confusing how, in the first half, a team could be running the ball and having their way, and then the second half, forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, just turn the ball over, start playing aggressive, and it's like you flip, and it's like, why not do the things that was working in the first half? I don't know, maybe, the crowd get into noise, but it was a great game in the second half. 49ers ended up coming back, cleaning and taking care of business and holding it down so they can meet the Chiefs in the finals. So, but I expect that game to be high scoring. I just didn't expect the Lions to just self-implode like that in the second half. So, how you felt about the game as far, we caught most of it at the Hard Rock. It was definitely a great experience out there. It was packed. Everybody was out there supporting who they were supporting, and we got great energy from all the scavengers we met. So, speaking
of the Hard Rock, man, Hard Rock, make sure y'all get at us, man. Let us know who we need to get at, man. We're gonna be getting at somebody soon. Don't worry about it. Shout out to the Hard Rock.
Man. What's the odds if we never take a risk?
And if you've never been to the Hard Rock during a game night, especially like these big games, conference finals, and the Super Bowl, man, the energy in the building is just crazy. It's hard not to want to gamble in that motherfucker. Get me out of here, man. I'm about to spend it all, you know what I mean?
Man, even if you're not a sports fan, just being around the energy, you're just gonna love sports, man. You're gonna love people, man. So,
but yeah, the game, man, it was that was a wild one, man. Not too much on that one. We did take the Lions with the 7.5, and you took the game over, you know what I mean?
Very, very good bet.
I put in a parlay that day, and it just didn't go right. Lamar, the Kings, some other shit happened, went left. But yeah, man, I don't really got too much to say with that game, man. I just, feel bad for the city of Detroit in a sense, man. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't been to a Super Bowl since 1991, you know what I mean? And
you feel bad for Detroit. I feel bad for black people as whole because we almost had a Baltimore-Detroit Super Bowl, man. That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. That would have been the turn Super Bowl. The city of Detroit. I would have had my buffs on.
Listen, that would have been
cool. You know what I mean?
Listen, but the thing that I want to bring up at the Hard Rock, it was a funny experience. It was not a funny experience, just a weird experience. We was talking amongst the game in the middle of the Detroit and San Francisco game, and amongst us, man, you remember that we were talking, and then one of the white dudes came up to us, and it was like, oh, these Super Bowls, because he saw what's going on. He's like, the Super Bowls, you should never bet high value on the black quarterback, which is very like, and I didn't feel no insult to it because he was saying some real stuff. That's why we didn't get that Baltimore Detroit how we wanted to. It's my opinion, just throwing it out there, But it was definitely crazy how he came up to us and just let us know that we wasn't even, paying him no mind.
I ain't even know how to feel about that, but there's some truth to it.
It was like just the history of the brown people bag test, man. But
moving forward,
it was definitely good NFL games. Now, we're going to tell you our prediction later of the Super Bowl, but before we do that, let's talk about some NBA news. You got some NBA news you want to talk about?
I think you had the NBA news, man. You had the top scorers, high scorers of last week, man. Let's get into that, man.
All the scoring, wow, man. So, I know you guys saw it. It was all over, social media. A lot of 60-point games, 70-point games. Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker. It's like, It's history this month.
Right, Luka dropped like, what, 73 that game?
73 on the
D-Book
road.
went for 62 and Embiid for 70.
Matter of fact, what was the most impressive to you? Just on a quick scale, like.
I was watching the Luka game, man, and he went crazy, and so I didn't get to personally watch the D-Book game. I know my boy against all odds, scavenger against all odds.
Oh yeah.
he had the Phoenix that game when D-Book was going crazy. I think they lost that game. Didn't they lost that game? Then they lose that game?
They definitely lost. He had both. I think he had the Mavericks too and the Suns. So he
had both that game. So I was watching the Mavs game, man.
What's the odds, huh?
Right. So I don't know. I give it to Luke, man. You know, there's a lot of history in that building. You had great players like Dirk put on. You know. I don't know. I saw the effort that Luke was putting out there during that game. So I kind of gotta give it to him. I didn't get to see the other guys, and then he obviously dropped the most points out of all them boys. So definitely his performance stood out to me.
I got you. Well, I'm gonna go with Embiid because Embiid, he played big ball. I like to see that, like non-stop. You cannot stop me, and if you try to stop me, I'm going to the line, and he goes to the line and shoots like 80%. So it's like he feel like Shaq and Will. You know what I'm saying?
He got some Hakeem Olajuwon
shit. He got a little shimmy to him. He got a mid-range. He's a freak, and I feel like he's gonna win this MVP. And on the news, how you feel about the boxing match coming up?
Which match is that you talking about in specific?
Rolly versus Pitbull.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm not as excited for the fight as I am to see Rolly get his ass whooped again for some reason. I don't like that guy. I don't like that kid. I feel like I ain't gonna say that, man. I'm gonna give him more credit, man, as a professional boxer. But you know what I mean? I like a lot of motherfuckers off the street to get in the ring and get that boy some work. You know what I mean? Like. He's a brawler, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm eager to see what his style.
Pitbull's a brawler too, boy.
Pitbull's a brawler, but Pitbull is a brawler when it's necessary for him to be a brawler. I feel like he has a lot more tact, a lot more boxing sense and skill that I've seen. And then Rolly looking for the big shot. He looking to come out and, floor you, level you with, a power punch, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think if you can get in his head early and get him into your fight and you not fall into his fight, you can kind of throw him off his game easy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or knock him out like Javante did in that fight. You know what I mean? I think he's a big talker. And I don't even really like him. He don't even make sense to me a lot of times. He's like, I don't know. I'm not a big Rolly fan. So just off of that, I'm rocking with Cruz.
I got you. I definitely agree. I mean, I feel like I actually think Cruz is going to be a big star. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love what he has.
This is the test right here.
Definitely this is one of the tests. If you can put him on the floor, put him on the ground a few times, man, that'd be salute. But in other boxing news, man, did you see... I know you saw it. Definitely. You told me about it. But it was definitely interesting. How do you feel about the Jeweler beef? I want to call it Jeweler beef. It's not really beef, but it's just very entertaining. They had a boxing match, man. You want to tell the people about it a little bit?
Man, Trax NY. I was on YouTube and I stumbled across this video of Trax NY on his page. Him and Nico the Jeweler. Or I don't know. I'm not gonna say Nico the Jeweler, but this guy Nico, who seems to be a jewelry aficionado, and him and Trax were going back and forth at each other about a watch that Cardi B had purchased, where she bust down a Patek and said it was valued at $100K, and Nico was just, he came on the net and challenged that by saying that if you drill holes in this watch to put these aftermarket diamonds in it, the watch is not worth $100K. Trax was saying, well, if the watch is $60K and I bust it down with $40,000 worth of diamonds, then it is $100K. And Nico wasn't going for it. And they were going back and forth. And them boys decided to settle that shit in the ring, and with certain footage right here somewhere, so you see a little bit of it.
It's pretty interesting. They was definitely throwing.
They was definitely throwing.
I
think them boys went like 3 rounds, and in those 3 rounds, man, I didn't see not a lick of defense. I didn't see not one body shot. The boy was going straight for the head, trying to knock it. Nico was out of there.
On E. They couldn't
Both
keep
them
their
boys
hands
was out
up,
of there.
but it was definitely entertaining. And he definitely showed me a little bit of qualities. They stayed in there, you know, and they threw their little blows, but it was definitely entertaining. Y'all check it out. It was hilarious.
It was funny, man. Shout out to Trax, man. I like Trax to beat on a lot of these artists. A lot of these rappers got me talking shit. Trax to get up with you, man.
Got you, definitely. Now, let's get right back to it. It's time for your predictions, Super Bowl. Do you want me to start, or you feel like it's something that you can carry the weight on, man?
I'm scared, bro. Like, I got gambler's delusion right now. I'm scared to give a pick right now. I got gambler's delusion. I got to sleep on it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we got some time now. You know, it's definitely Super Bowl
What's your
week.
thoughts, man?
Number one, man, I'm just be honest with you. It is a very, very tough game to bet. But I think it's in Vegas. I think the entertainment of it is going to be a very, very entertainment week. And people gonna want to see a show. I think it's gonna go over. I think that game will go over. And I'm talking about like 30-30. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of them games, you know what I'm saying? Because that's not even a game you're supposed to. That's a very tough game. We're talking about the best quarterback potentially of all time versus the one of the most complete teams we have ever seen in the last probably a decade. You know what I'm saying? Who has been to the Super Bowl or the conference championship more than the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, that's
the Chiefs. So it's just like, it's a great matchup, man. And that's something that I just want to get my popcorn and watch. So I'm gonna shoot the over.
You shooting over. I like that.
And usually Super Bowl games are tight defenses under, but it just one just look like Showtime Vegas. Let's see what I'm saying? Let them boys score. Let them boys have fun. We all want to see a great game. Because this was kind of like most people's predictions.
Right, man. As for me and the rest of the scabs, I guess, excuse me, just stay tuned to the page, man. Pay attention to the page. Every day we dropping the locks on there. Last week, man, you know, a couple of the scavengers went out bad, man. I went out bad.
Man down.
I was hit. I was giving some good soccer plays out. I mean, not soccer, I'm sorry. Hockey plays out there, but the NBA, man, I got gambler's delusion. Man. It's bad, man. I went out bad. A couple of, shout out to my boy, Juice the Scavenger, man. He been throwing some nice plays out there. I need my scavengers to get more active, more serious about this shit, man, because y'all got some great insights, some great plays for the public out there. And you know what I'm saying? Just with a little bit more, I don't know what it is. My scavengers just comfortable, man. They don't got the desire for this shit like that. But we gonna get them in line, and we gonna get them more involved. Shit, man. Look, man, we reaching the end of the show, man. Do you have any supporters' comments out there? I know that's the thing that we wanted to get.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it was
because they always hitting us up. They in the DMs. They in the comments. So
kind of like pick. You know, it's kind of like pick a few because you know we always have a few comments. But one specific one that definitely came to mind was the All-Star prediction I had, where I was like, Derek White I like him. He's a solid player, but I don't think he should be an All-Star. And I had a lot of responses like yes, and no. But one specific one that came out, popped out in my head right here. He responded with a lot of details. He was saying, bro, you're tripping. He's been doing his thing since the Spurs. Got traded to the Celtics, elevated his game, and defensive playing both sides of the ball, and he hasn't declined. He also mentioned, he said who's been more consistent right here. He's more consistent than any player you think that deserves to be in the All-Star game. Stats don't lie. Check it out one day. Ooh, he came at me with a lot of different information.
Definitely came at you with the facts.
My response to that, actually they respond, and I commented, I'm waiting for him to respond. He was saying, I said, can you tell me who would you take him over off this list? I'm gonna just name a few players, and if you can, even if you can name a few players to take him off this list, maybe that I'll say, you know what, you got me. We got Donovan Mitchell. Bring him to the stage. I don't think he's going off D-mid. Spider, I don't think so. We got Tyrese Maxey, who's right now averaging about 25. You know, that's Robin. That's Embiid's Robin right now, and they up there. So I don't think, and he's like the second option. That's a solid player. We got Tyrese Halliburton, Mr. 18 assists, no turnovers. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about
still hurt. Was he hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt for about a week, a few weeks, but he played enough to be an All-Star game.
Okay.
He's definitely not. I don't think Derek White is going over him.
So you like him over Derek White? I
mean, based off the three guards I just mentioned.
You got one more?
We gonna throw one more in there?
You don't have to.
I mean, that's based off those three. I mean, okay, we're gonna throw one more. No. Since you asked for more, I got you one more. How about Jalen Brunson? You know what I'm saying? Like Derek White, Jalen Brunson. How about a player on his own team, Jaylen Brown? Does he go over Jaylen Brown? So that's my response to my boy Mike. You know, I don't know. I couldn't decide who I'd take him over. That's why a lot of people was like, yeah, you're right. He's a good player, not an all-star player. So
right.
But shout out to my boy, man. It's all in love. I play ball with him all the time, man. Probably next time we play ball, we're gonna finish that conversation.
Right. Something moving forward, man. Something that we want to introduce to the people, man. We'll probably get it popping by next show. Or we might do it midweek and make it interesting, man. Quick play parlays where we're gonna choose, We're gonna select one of our loyal supporters. Pull a name out of hat type situation. And we're gonna put in a parlay for you. It could be $20, it could be $50, it could be $100, man. We're gonna sit down, devise the best parlay for you, and just put it in and just shoot some fun with you. You know what I'm saying? If you hit, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? Courtesy of the Scavengers, man. AD, man, why don't you close the show out,
man? I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the support we've been getting throughout the whole week. Definitely our first episode back in a little while was last week. Definitely got a lot of feedback. So thank y'all for tuning in. Remember to follow the page. Watch our story. We're dropping picks and predictions at What's the Odds Sportscast.
Let them know where to follow us at on TikTok at
on TikTok as well too. At What's the Odds. I will definitely get in there.
And on IG at What's the Odds Sportscast.
Yeah, I got you. Follow us on IG on What's the Odds Sportscast. And always check our page out. We definitely got merch on the way, definitely. And remember, if you guys interested in sponsorships, please tap into our DM.
Ads, man. Advertisements. We rocking with
definitely. You. Please tap into our DMs. We're gonna respond right away, and we're gonna get this business going. Thank y'all for tapping in, and remember, what's the odds if you never take a risk? No chance.